Your address was leaked to a police officer. They are coming to arrest you because your neighbors have spoken against you. Archangel Michael says, there is a storm moving toward you that you did not invite. A storm birthed not by the heavens, but by whispers, shadows, and the mouths of those who sit close enough to your home to watch, yet far enough to hide their hearts. The truth has already escaped your walls, and your name has found its way into the hands of someone who is trained to act, someone who is coming under the weight of law. There is urgency in this message because what was once private is no longer sealed. Your address, the very ground where you rest and rise, has been leaked. It did not fall into the open carelessly, it was passed with intent, with force, with the pressing motive of neighbors who have spoken against you. This moment is heavy with suspense. What comes next is not simply about who you are, it is about how your name is now being carried by voices who want to see you undone. The law is being stirred awake not because of truth but because of the force of words that have been bent and sharpened into arrows aimed directly at you. Now, even as you breathe reading these words, a path is unfolding. That path is not yet sealed, but the steps are drawing closer, echoing with the sound of footsteps you may not yet hear outside, but that are already recorded in the heavens above. Type Amen 333 to receive strength before continuing. The neighbors who smile in the light of day are not the same in the silence of night. They have spoken in ways that cloak themselves in righteousness, but behind those words, envy and resentment have built a case that now carries weight. It is their testimony, their gathering whispers, that have woven a net strong enough to pull attention toward you. And that attention is not small. A police officer has been given your name, your location, your very door. Not by accident, but because someone has declared themselves a witness. Their words stand not as simple opinions, but as accusations, sharpened with intent to make your life stumble. This is the power of influence, when many voices align against one. It is not the sound of justice but the roar of pressure, pressing down on the ears of those in authority. Now, the authority stirs with duty, unaware that they are moving under the strings pulled by your neighbors. But listen carefully, the heavens are not silent. Your protection is not abandoned. Though this story grows dark with tension, your steps are still being shielded by forces stronger than the words of men. Type Amen 555 if you believe you are guarded in this hour. There is more to this moment than just the threat of a knock at the door. The plan against you began before today. It was discussed quietly, a decision born from jealousy and suspicion, crafted into a narrative that would hold weight when delivered to the ears of those who act under law. They did not stop at words, they carried details. Details of your address, your daily patterns, and the way you live. These became the seeds of suspicion, planted carefully so that when the time came, a police officer would not question why, they would simply come. Archangel Michael says, this was not random. It was designed. Designed to weaken your courage, designed to shake your spirit, designed to make you believe you were alone. But you are not alone. Even as these lines reach you, a shield is being raised, one that deflects what was meant to shatter. Do not underestimate the weight of this message. The one who leaked your information believed they were untouchable, but every act leaves a trail that heaven does not erase. And that trail is now under divine watch. Type Amen 777 to align with the shield being formed around you. The night grows heavy when you know someone is preparing a step against you. Yet, it is in this very heaviness that the truth begins to separate from lies. Neighbors may gather in their secret meetings, crafting words to make their stories believable, but truth has a way of breaking through the walls of deceit. Their plan has reached the ears of the law, yes, but it has also reached the ears of heaven. And in that balance, the outcome is being shaped, not only by the voices of men but by the will of higher justice. Even now, you may feel the chill of fear, the weight of what it means for your address to be exposed. But know this: when enemies move too fast, they often step into traps of their own making. The very officer they hope will bring you down may soon be the witness of their lies. There is movement in your story that you cannot yet see, but every hidden motive is being uncovered, every false testimony being measured. The darkness is strong, but your light has not been extinguished. Type Amen 999 if you are ready for heaven to expose every hidden lie. The sound of footsteps is closer than you realize, yet the silence before it feels endless. That is the silence of waiting, of tension stretching across your heart like a wire ready to snap. This is the silence the enemy wanted you to drown in, hoping fear would chain your thoughts before the real test even arrived. But Archangel Michael says, fear is their weapon, not yours. Their whispers, their reports, their lies, they thrive when your spirit trembles. Yet, your trembling is being seen, and instead of breaking, you are being strengthened in secret ways that will show when the moment of confrontation arrives. The officer who now holds your address has been told a story. A story not written in full truth, but with details bent and twisted to make you appear guilty. This story is powerful enough to stir movement, but fragile enough to collapse when light falls upon it. For every step being taken against you, another step is being prepared to defend you. Nothing in this moment is without weight. Every choice you make, every breath you take in awareness, is part of the unfolding of a battle far bigger than your street or your neighbors. The neighbors have not acted once, but many times. Each conversation they had about you was another seed of suspicion. Each detail they leaked was another rope they tied around your name. They wanted to craft a picture so convincing that when the police officer came, there would be no hesitation. But they miscalculated one thing. They forgot that your life is not only under their eyes, it is also under the watchful eyes of heaven. And when heaven watches, no lie stands unchallenged. This is why you must not break. Though the steps outside may grow louder, though the fear of the unknown may bite at your chest, you are being prepared for something deeper. This is not about arrest, it is about exposure. Exposure of who truly stands against you, and exposure of who still stands beside you. The neighbors think their plan is hidden. They think the walls of their homes are strong enough to keep their plotting secret. But their walls cannot hide from the one who sees beyond walls, beyond whispers, beyond the shadows of their envy. Type Amen 222 to break the chains of fear they try to place on you. The officer has been told to believe you are the threat. The neighbors painted you as the one who should be restrained, silenced, taken away. But Archangel Michael says, the trap they set for you is becoming the mirror they will be forced to look into. For when falsehood is carried too far, it cracks under its own weight. Lies demand constant feeding, but truth stands without effort. And the truth of your life is stronger than the fiction they have written about you. The neighbors acted together because alone, their words would not stand. They needed a group, a collective voice, to make their accusations appear legitimate. But heaven does not measure by numbers, it measures by justice. And justice is moving silently, like a current beneath the surface, waiting for the moment to rise. Even if the officer comes, even if the knock at the door shakes your night, remember, this is not the end. This is the unveiling. And what was hidden against you will soon be revealed for all to see. Type Amen 444 to declare that unveiling over your life. Every moment now feels stretched. The ticking of the clock, the creak of the walls, the faint sounds outside, each one feels charged with meaning. This is not your imagination, this is the spiritual weight of the situation pressing into the natural. Your neighbors may sleep peacefully, believing their words have finally created the chain they wanted for you. But their peace is false. It is temporary. For their actions are now under judgment. The police officer moves under instruction, but heaven moves under purpose. And purpose will always outlast instruction. You may not see the full design yet, but you are not walking into this unguarded. Every force of light has already been stirred because of what was spoken against you. Archangel Michael says, your spirit is not small in this moment. You are standing as one targeted, yes, but also as one chosen for revelation. What you endure now will not end in shame, it will end in exposure of the truth. Type Amen 111 to seal your spirit in this revelation. The air grows heavier when betrayal comes not from strangers, but from neighbors. Their windows face your walls, their footsteps echo near your own gate, yet their hearts have turned into silent daggers. What they carried into the years of authority was not just a report, it was poison. They wanted to create a picture that would leave no space for your voice. They wanted the police officer to walk toward you already convinced, already holding judgment before hearing truth. This is the cruelty of envy, the coldness of those who smile when you pass but spit venom when you turn away. And yet, even in this suffocating shadow, a light burns. The heavens are not idle. Justice does not sleep. What was leaked has already reached divine records, and what was twisted has already been marked for correction. Type Amen 1212 to stand in the light of correction. The officer holds a file now, a file that bears your address. Inside it rests the testimony of your neighbors, painted with confidence, structured to appear as truth. But truth is not in their words, it is only in what is unseen by men but seen by heaven. Your house is more than walls and rooms. It is a place where prayers have been whispered, where tears have fallen, where your spirit has cried out for answers. That house is not unguarded. Even now, it vibrates with a covering stronger than the voices of men. Do not let fear make you surrender. The coming steps are part of a design that will not end with your destruction but with their unveiling. They tried to write the ending of your story, but they forgot they are not the authors of your life. Archangel Michael says, even the pen in their hands is being taken away, and soon they will not control the narrative they tried to shape. Type Amen 1717 to break the pen of your accusers. The neighbors' gathering was not sudden. They had been watching, listening, waiting for the right moment. They crafted their plan carefully, and when the time came, they released their words like arrows into the air. But arrows cannot pierce the shield of heaven, though they may fly close to your chest. The moment they leaked your address, they crossed a line. They moved from thought into action, from jealousy into betrayal. And action carries consequence. The consequence may not be visible yet, but it is already unfolding. This is why the suspense is so thick. It is not only about what they did, it is about what comes next. Their actions have awakened forces greater than them, and they do not even realize the weight of what they set in motion. Your stillness now is not weakness, it is power being built quietly. Every breath you take in calm is proof that their words cannot break you fully. Type Amen 818 if you refuse to bow to their poison. The night may bring footsteps. It may bring voices outside your door. The officer may appear, guided not by truth but by false reports. But understand this, not every arrival ends in chains. Some arrivals end in the discovery of lies. The officer has power, yes, but even greater is the power of truth that will eventually unfold. The officer can knock, but they cannot close the heavens. They can listen, but they cannot silence the records already kept above. Your neighbors believe their plan is complete. They laugh quietly in their homes, believing the chain they started is unbreakable. But they will soon face the shock of watching their trap reverse. For the one who digs a pit for another often falls into it themselves. Archangel Michael says, your endurance in this moment is the final weapon they never prepared for. They thought fear would swallow you, but instead, your strength is rising. Type Amen 3030 to stand unshaken in your rising. The atmosphere around your home is charged. Every whisper, every report, every paper that carried your address, all of it feels like a storm pressing in. Yet storms do not last forever, they break, and when they break, they reveal the damage not of the innocent but of the guilty. Do not forget, the neighbors who leaked your name did so believing they were unseen. They trusted in the shadows. But no shadow hides forever. Their faces will be revealed, their motives laid bare, their falsehoods shattered under the weight of exposure. You have been marked, yes, but not only by them. You have been marked by protection, by covering, by a promise that no chain forged against you can hold you forever. That mark is stronger than their envy, brighter than their whispers, and more lasting than their betrayal. Type Amen 4747 to declare that no chain will hold. The walls around you may feel like they are closing in, but they are not. What is happening is that tension is pressing against the air, filling each corner, each shadow, with the weight of what was spoken against you. This heaviness is not meant to break you, it is meant to reveal what was hidden. The neighbors who leaked your address do not realize the cost of their actions. They believe their words are strong enough to shape destiny, but destiny does not bend to envy. It bends only to truth, and the truth has already marked them for exposure. The police officer may be convinced by their testimony, but no human ear can silence the whisper of justice rising in this moment. Justice moves slower than lies, but when it arrives, it destroys everything false. And justice is already on the way. Type Amen 5252 to call justice into your life now. You must understand, this was never about one conversation. Your neighbors had been weaving this net for a long time. Each false statement, each detail they twisted, each accusation they prepared, it all gathered into the trap they now believe will close around you. But their trap is flawed. It was built on sand, not stone. And when waves of truth hit it, it will collapse, leaving them uncovered. That collapse is closer than they know. Archangel Michael says, every plan against you is now under review in the courts of heaven. And in those courts, no false witness can survive. This is why their laughter tonight will turn into confusion tomorrow, because what they thought was finished is only beginning. Type Amen 6363 to seal your case in the higher courts. The suspense of this moment is sharp. Each sound outside your home, each flicker of light, each echo of a passing step, it all feels heavier, as if it carries hidden meaning. That is because the spiritual and natural are colliding right now. In the natural, an officer has your name, your location, your address. They move because words have instructed them. But in the spiritual, your life is surrounded by a shield they cannot see. They may enter, they may question, they may even try to intimidate, but they cannot rewrite the truth of who you are. This is the balance of the hour. Man moves with orders, but heaven moves with justice. And justice cannot be erased, no matter how loud the voices of envy grow. Type Amen 8484 if you believe your truth is unshakable. Do not fear what may come at your door. Fear does not serve you in this moment, it only feeds the strength of those who spoke against you. They are waiting for your collapse. They are waiting for the sound of defeat. But you will not give it to them. Your silence now is not surrender. It is strategy. Your stillness is not weakness, it is preparation. What they believe is your breaking point will soon reveal itself as the doorway to their downfall. The officer can arrive with chains, but those chains cannot bind what heaven has already freed. Your name carries weight far beyond the pages of their report. Your life is not a case file. It is a design already recorded by divine hands. Archangel Michael says, you must hold your ground. Even as footsteps approach, your strength is the one thing they cannot touch. Type Amen 9191 to hold your ground in this moment. The night deepens, and so does the suspense. It feels as though every sound is louder than usual, every movement more threatening. That is not just your imagination, it is the reality of being targeted by words designed to destroy. But remember, lies are heavy. Lies are unstable. Lies require constant defense. And those who leaked your address are already beginning to feel the weight of what they created pressing back onto them. The officer who carries your name will not be blind forever. When lies begin to crack, their eyes will see. And when they see, the ones who betrayed you will face consequences they never prepared for. Their attempt to bury you will become the grave of their own credibility. Type Amen 1010 to declare that their lies are crumbling. Your story has reached a dangerous point, but it is also the point where divine intervention reveals itself most clearly. The suspense, the fear, the whispers, none of these will have the final word. You are not alone in this. The shield around you is strong, the light above you is brighter than the darkness around you. What your neighbors set into motion cannot outlast the forces now protecting your life. This is not the end, it is the turning point. And what follows will not be your downfall, but their exposure. Type Amen 12:12 to step into that turning point. The shadows outside your home are not just ordinary tonight. They feel thicker, heavier, almost alive with the weight of what has been said against you. Every whisper from your neighbors has layered itself into the atmosphere, creating this tension that presses against your chest as if the walls themselves are listening. The officer who now carries your address is not moving by chance. He was given what your neighbors designed, what they carefully plotted in their secret gatherings. They wanted to make you the center of suspicion, the one whose name could be carried in shame. But what they do not realize is that heaven has already begun to unravel their story. Archangel Michael says, "Every step taken against you is being counted. Every false testimony has already been marked, and each one will return to the mouth that spoke it. This is not the hour of your defeat, it is the hour of their exposure." Type Amen 13:13 to claim the exposure of your enemies. The suspense now builds like a storm before lightning strikes. You can almost feel the coming knock at your door, though the sound has not yet arrived. This is what your enemies wanted, for you to live in dread, to breathe in fear, to question every sound. But dread is not your destiny. Fear is not your inheritance. You are not defined by the venom of your neighbors. You are defined by the truth that cannot be erased, the light that cannot be dimmed, and the protection that cannot be broken. Their plot is strong only in the dark. Once light shines, their voices will tremble, their faces will pale, and their words will collapse under the pressure of truth. That light is already breaking in, and though the night feels heavy, the dawn is closer than they know. Type Amen 2020 if you believe the dawn will break for you. Inside the file the officer carries, your address is written in ink. That ink was meant to bind you, meant to chain you to their accusations. But ink fades. Ink can be torn. Ink does not have the power of destiny. Your neighbors believe they have built an unshakable case. They filled it with details, half-truths, and exaggerations, thinking this would make it strong. But what they really built was a fragile house of cards, and even the smallest breath of truth will bring it down. This is why you must remain steady. The storm is loud, but storms pass. The neighbors' laughter is loud, but their laughter will turn into silence when they face the weight of consequences. Archangel Michael says, "Stand steady. Do not bow to fear. The shield is already rising, and the blow they intended for you will not land as they planned." Type Amen 32:32 if you are ready to stand steady. The neighbors underestimated the power of justice. They thought the law would only listen to them, that the officer would act without question, that you would be caught in silence. But justice does not bend so easily. It watches, it listens, it waits. And when it strikes with force. Already, cracks are forming in their plan. Already, their whispers are starting to turn against one another. When too many voices speak the same lie, eventually the truth between them begins to show. That moment is closer than they expected. You are not powerless in this hour. Your strength is being proven by your endurance. What you are facing is not just an accusation, it is a test of your spirit, and your spirit is not breaking. Type Amen 50-50 to seal your spirit in unbreakable strength. The footsteps outside grow closer. Perhaps it is the officer. Perhaps it is simply the echo of your fear. But either way, every sound now feels like a signal. That is the intensity of this moment. It makes the ordinary feel heavy, the normal feel dangerous. Your neighbors are watching from their windows. Do not doubt it. They want to see the outcome of their lies. They want to see if the officer will drag your name into shame. They are hungry for your downfall, but they will be starved when truth does not feed them what they expect. This is the hour where masks fall. The neighbors who acted like friends will reveal themselves as enemies. Their faces will no longer be able to hide behind false kindness. And when that happens, you will see clearly who truly stood against you. Type Amen 72-72 to declare that masks are falling. The suspense thickens with each passing second. Yet within this tension lies your opportunity. The officer may come, but what he finds will not match the story he was told. Lies cannot stand when the truth is present. Your neighbors believe they hold power because they moved first. But the one who moves first does not always win the battle. Often, it is the one who stands last, unbroken, who claims victory. And you are not going to fall before their lies. Archangel Michael says, your endurance will outlast their betrayal. Your strength will silence their accusations. And your light will blind their envy. This is why you must not tremble. You must stand, for the storm is about to break in your favor. Type Amen 88-88 to declare that victory is yours.